Hello and welcome to Joy News Prime. We're coming to you live from our studios here at Koko Mlimlin, Accra. We are live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV 125, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. I am Carlos Caloni.
And I am Faustina Safo. Tonight, former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others slapped with 78 charges, including causing financial loss to the state and conspiring to influence a procurement process to secure an unfair advantage in the SML scandal.
Also tonight, there's imminent water shortage in Takwa and its environs as Ghana Water Ltd prepares to shut down the Bonsa Water Treatment Plant due to severe siltation from illegal mining activities. Meanwhile, part of Accra experienced severe water shortages as the Water Treatment Plant temporarily shuts down for maintenance.
Also tonight, minority opposes government's $10 million tax waiver for an integrated tax administration system valued at $44 million. We have details as the finance minister insists the renegotiated deal gives Ghana value for money. And later will come your way with Prime Sports. Remember, we are your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. A good time to take a seat and please be our guest.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Joy News Prime. Now, if you live in Takwa and its surrounding communities, brace yourself because the Ghana Water Ltd is warning of an imminent water crisis. The Bonsa Treatment Plant, the main source of potable water for the entire municipality, is on the verge of another shutdown. Barely 3 weeks after an expensive dredging exercise, the plant's raw water intake point has already been swallowed by thick layers of silt. The cause, according to officials, is the relentless illegal mining taking place upstream. This latest development has revealed when the managing director, or was actually revealed when the managing director of Ghana Water Ltd, Adam Mutawakil, visited the facility to assess the situation. The Western Regional Manager, Richard Isum, briefed journalists during the inspection.
The river or the raw water that supplies the plant is a Bonsa River that you can see. We have a lot of challenge with the source of the raw water, and the main thing is siltation of the dam. About 2 months ago, the plant was shut down. The whole month was not supplying because there was a lot of silt and raw water was not coming into the plant. We took the pain to dredge, remove a huge tons of silt from the river. And then the plant worked for only 3 weeks. And for us to see that the river has been fully occupied by silt again, just under 3 weeks. And as we speak, today, 18th of November, it has been down for 3 weeks. This is the situation we are facing here. For now, there's no water going to Takwa. The plant is not treating water at all. And it's a situation that is affecting water supply to this enclave and this environment.
Well, let's bring in the Western Regional Correspondent, Ina Thalia Kwansa. Tell us how serious this problem is and how residents actually taking this revelation by the team that visited the facility. Ina, kindly unmute so we hear what you're saying.
Okay, Carlos. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
So the situation is so dire, Carlos. When you look at the footages I sent in, you can see that the Bonsa River has been swallowed by mud. It's very difficult for the Ghana Water Company here in the Western region to get just a pinch of water to supply to people within Takwa and its environs. Just like the regional director rightly said, 3 weeks ago, they spent millions to dredge the same river that we are seeing in our videos. And then to go back and then it has been taken over by illegal miners. I mean, the map shows clearly how illegal miners have taken over this river. I can say on authority that for the past 10 years that I have, lived in the Western region, every year there is an issue with the Bonsa River. There's an issue with treating water for the people, but this time around it's worse off. And so they would have to find alternative means to get the people of Takwa in Suayum and its surroundings potable water to drink.
What other alternatives do they have? I mean, the Ghana Water Limited. Any other river flowing in the area?
But now, no, but like you had the MD for Ghana Water, he said that they will be using mining lakes pits, which they think that is more portable. We can listen to him whilst he explains why he thinks that is an alternative option.
Thank you so much. I think we listened to him earlier on.
Ghana Water Company, Stanley Mate is Public Relations Manager of the company. He joins us live here on JoyNewsPrime. We appreciate your time. Claire, the situation on the ground is severe. How are you dealing with it?
Yeah, thank you very much. And just like you said, it's severe. And so it's been a very difficult situation. The amount of money that we are spending on dredging is quite serious, because we spent close to 5 million to dredge the Bonsa River 6 weeks ago, and in 3 weeks after, the place became silted again. And for the past 3 weeks, we haven't been treating water for the people of Takwa. So it's quite serious.
And what's the alternative source, really, for residents listening tonight? What is the way forward?
There are a few boreholes in the system which we had to depend on, but that isn't the best because it isn't enough for the people. So currently we are looking at the mine lake pit with Anglo Gold, and so we have met with the management of Anglo Gold today. We've had very serious discussions, and then we are sending consultants into the area to do feasibility studies, and then we'll see how quick we can lay pipes from the place to our treatment plant. Then we can treat the water from the mine lake pit. The mine lake pit is such that they have dug into almost into the aquifers. And so there's a lot of water that is coming out of the aquifers, and they have to pump it. They even have to treat it before pumping back into the Bonsa, but it is downstream our plant. So what we want to do now is to set up a booster station where we can divert this water into our treatment plant directly, not into the river, but to go directly into an aerator into our treatment plant. That will take it through the treatment process, and then we can get water for the people of Takwa. Now we are able to produce about 600,000 gallons of water for the people, but this water that comes out of the aquifers is even more than 1 million gallons per day, which means that we can get enough water to treat for the people. And even when we want to expand our treatment plant, we still could get more water to treat for the people over the period. Now, per their history or data from Anglo Gold, they have been pumping out this water from the aquifers for years, and it's never dried up. And so then we are hopeful that there is more water and which we can treat throughout the year. And it is also such that anytime there are rains, and they will fill up the aquifers, and then we still can pump water out. It is such that a lot of rains from that area. That area has very heavy rains.
Okay.
And so then we are hopeful that the aquifers could be replenished every time, and we could pump throughout the year. So
okay.
we have done quite a bit. We tested the water, and turbidity is good. And then we are looking at ammonia and nitrates, which is treatable, which we can get rid of, and so that at least we can get water for the people of Takwa. So it's been a very fruitful discussion with the management of Anglo Gold, and we are hoping that things will go well, so that within the shortest time possible, we can get our operations back for the people of Takwa to get water.
Let's talk about the Water Treatment Plant. The Ghana Water Company statement issued earlier indicated that the emergency works on the Water Treatment Plant were completed at 6 p.m. or after 6 p.m. As we speak, what's the progress on that work? Have you completed it?
So we gave ourselves 6 hours to complete. We have done 4 hours, and we are hopeful that before the 6th hour, we'll be able to finish. It's progressing. I've just had a chat with the chief manager production, who is currently at the site and ensuring that this thing is completed with on schedule. But he tells me that we will complete on schedule. We'll complete before the next 2 hours so that we can resume pumping for the people of Accra.
Thank you so much for your time here on JoyNewsPrime.
You're welcome. I'm grateful for having me.
Meanwhile, Standard Water Company has been compelled to suspend production activities after Ghana Water Ltd disconnected its facility in Kasua in the Ewutu-Senya East Municipality. The action follows allegations that the company and other commercial producers had been illegally tapping into the water source. Solace Akomia is the Accra West Regional Communications Manager of the water company.
Kasua is a water-stressed community. And so if an individual will just take the law into his own hand and just collect water, pool water, and be selling to people, making money and paying not even a dime for it, that's really unheard of. The 2-inch pipe I was talking about is actually a bypass. It simply means that the water that the 2-inch pipe is bringing to the house does not pass through any meter at all. So this is what we have uncovered, and this customer is going to be dealt with massively. We shouldn't allow a few people to just pull the water and sell, fill their pockets with the money they pay nothing for. They don't pay any taxes on that. They don't pay their bill. So this is a challenge, and we are calling all Ghanaians in our various communities, please, let all be alert. When we see something happening, let us alert Ghana Water. Let us tell the police. As you can see, we have the national security with us. We have the, they are with us. So you can alert them. If you think you can't come to Ghana Water, please inform the police, and they will help us to uncover and to resolve what the issues are.
Well, away from that, tonight the Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others have been dragged before court, facing 78 charges, including causing financial loss to the state and conspiracy to influence a procurement process to secure unfair advantage in the SML scandal. At the center of this case is SML revenue assurance contracts, which had cost the state over $141 million by 2023. Despite growing concerns, Ken Ofori-Atta extended the agreement in October 2023, an expansion that would have committed the state to more than $100 million annually for 5 years, with the option of another 5-year renewal. Well, join me in the studio is Caleb Ziblim from our research desk. He's been digging into this. Now, you've been looking at the charge sheet. What exactly does it say?
Okay, so now we have the full list of the accused persons. There are 8 of them. We have Ken Ofori-Atta, the former finance minister, Ernest Darko, that was Ofori-Atta's chef de cabinet or his chief of staff. We have Emmanuel Kofi-Nti, he's the former GRA commissioner. We have another former GRA commissioner, Reverend Amishadai Owusu-Amwa. We also have Isaac Crenshaw, he's the former commissioner at the GRA Custom Division. And then Kwejo Damwa, he's now a member of parliament for German South and also the former commissioner for the GRA's Custom Division as well. And then we have Evans Eduse, CEO of SML, and then SML itself. So these are the 8 accused persons in the Republic versus Ken Ofori-Atta and 7 others, mainly on the SML deal that you spoke about earlier. So in total, we have 78 counts, and this includes all the 8 accused persons. So some of the counts are individually, and some are grouped for the 8 accused persons. So it's not 8 different counts per se, but 8 different for each of the accused persons. And if you read through the charge sheets, these are the overarching counts or charges against the accused. We have unfair advantage in the award of a procurement contract. So most of it was about how the procurement process went through. Some approvals were not given before the implementation of the project and all of that, causing financial loss to the Republic. And then we'll get to the entire amount that has been lost according to the OSP, and also using public office for profit. So all the 8 accused have been accused into varying extents of these three main charges. And then if you look at the particulars of the case, so we've already spoken about the procurement process and how some issues were sidestepped. Also, this was single source procurement. And then with single source, you need PPA board approval. According to the OSP, SML did not get PPA board approval. Also, we also needed some parliamentary approval in some cases because parts of the contract link the government to more than a 1-year commitment. And once you have a more than 1-year commitment that the states will have to pay, it has to go to parliament. And this was not sought, according to the OSP. And then, according to the charge sheets again, SML claimed that they could perform some services that deal with the only ones that could perform the service, and then deal with the only ones who have the patented technologies and resources to undertake, which is why they were given the contract under the single source. But according to investigations, they did not even have this expertise, so they could not carry out the verification exercises that they claimed they could. Also, some of the services that SML did for the states, before you get paid, GRA and then Finance Ministry have to verify it. But according to the investigators, this verification exercise was not done. So payments were made without officials actually verifying to see if SML's activities are indeed saving the state some money. So in all, 1.4 billion cedis has been lost. 1.4 billion cedis has been lost to this SML GRA deal. And then, this was for the downstream sector. So from 2017 to 2024, this was what was lost. But then there was another contract that was supposed to go to the upstream. That's where we do the petroleum production, so the crude oil and our mineral resources, that's gold production. If that contract came into force, and we know it was cancelled by the previous administration, if that contract came into force, about $2.7 billion over a 5-year period would have been lost.
Right.
And the investigators say that was cancelled, but still, that's also under investigation. But then money that has been lost to the states is 1.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Thank you so much, Caleb. Now, joining us now is co-chair of Citizens Movement Against Corruption, Adam Senanu. We appreciate your time here on JoyNewsPrime. We've just been hearing from the OSP. He barked and now he's ready to bite, really. We're looking at his estimations of the financial loss caused to the state, 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. As an anti-corruption campaigner, what's your reading into this deal?
Well, I mean, the figures continue to be staggering and shocking. Every time we hear some of these figures, you're just wondering how we ended up with such situations. I am always happy to note that further losses to the state have been curbed. And I think this is one of those times when the president acted that allows us to say we've saved ourselves, those losses that would then further be incurred. But beyond that, I think the big question is, how did we get here? Given the laws that exist, that you can't do this kind of single source, that you need a PPA approval, which wasn't given, that you need a parliamentary approval, which wasn't given, that you have legal advisors in the ministry, you have procurement people, you have a chief director. Somehow in my mind, I think that there must be some operational level failures that we should identify and plug.
Operational level failures, you say, but looking at our system as we run in the country, there appears to be steps in place to ensure that procurement process is fair. But looking at the charges brought against these individuals by the OSP, it appears the rot is from within. How do we fix it moving forward?
I think we need to review how this happened. It seems to me that so we breached specific laws. How is it possible for those laws to have been breached? Is it that there's lack of immediate sanctions and enforcing them is the gap? Because in my mind, if the laws are there and they say that you cannot process this without having a certain document, how on earth were those things processed? So it looks like we need to look at it and find out whether we need additional mechanisms that say for a certain approval or some kind or a certain threshold, some kind of additional verification should be done. Perhaps for all you know, the Minister of Finance current approach of saying I have a value for money team, looking at these things also may be one of the ways to go. But it does seem as if the current laws are not sufficient, and we need to see what else we can do to plug the holes.
Thank you so much for your time here on JoyNewsPrime.
Well, still to come, minority opposes government's $10 million tax waiver for an integrated tax administration system valued at $44 million. Details as Finance Minister insists the renegotiated deal gives Ghana value for money. Details will return. Please stay.
Thanks for staying with us here on JoyNewsPrime.
Well, to some more story, the minority in Parliament is kicking against government's plan to grant a foreign firm a $10 million tax waiver. The waiver covers VAT retention on a $44 million contract awarded by the Ghana Revenue Authority to Tata Consultancy Services for the rollout of an integrated tax administration system to boost revenue collection. When the deal was signed in 2024, the then minority and several CSO questioned the sole sourcing process and raised concerns about value for money. Today, the contract is back on the floor of Parliament, this time with government seeking both parliamentary approval and the $10 million tax exemption. Listen to Chairman of the Finance Committee, Isaac Adongo, lay the deal before Parliament.
The Speaker, I move that this Honourable House adopts the report of the Finance Committee on the master agreement between the Government of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Finance, and the Ghana Revenue Authority and Tata Consultancy Services Limited for professional services be moved. Mr. Speaker, in so doing, I would like to present the committee's report. Mr. Speaker, the master agreement between the Government of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Finance, and the Ghana Revenue Authority and Tata Consultancy Limited for professional services and the waiver of withholding tax on the income of the service provider and value-added tax on imported services amounting to 10.46 million Ghana cedis was presented to the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana by the Minister for Finance, Honorable Dr. Kesel Atoforsen, in accordance with Article 181 of the 1992 Constitution on Thursday, 30th November 2025. Mr. Speaker, I beg that Hazard may capture the entire report.
Minority, however, mounted a strong pushback. Frank Anodompre is a minority whip.
Imagine the number of jobs that were lost to the youth at that time, when about 47 tax exemptions were opposed. And you look at the road minister, he's also looking at me. What has changed? They oppose it. I feel sad. Today we are being invited to be part of an illegality, something that they spoke against. And then you're looking at a company like Tata. Anyway, we are opposed. And it is interesting that even the Income Tax Act 2015 itself gives the Commissioner General of GRA some powers. This application should rather be made to him. Don't bring it to this house. Especially knowing your track record, what you stood for. So, Speaker, we are opposed, and I urge my side. And I see very principled members on their backside. You should leave them alone. They are on their own. Go by principle. You are saying that we should oppose tax exemption. And Speaker, I recall how passionate the Honorable Atuforsen argued then. Today, what has changed? He's picking and choosing and veering off. What has changed? So, Speaker, we are opposed. Let the record reflect that the mighty minority is opposed to this tax waiver. We are opposed to this tax waiver. Which is about 20 million. I don't know what justification you are going to give to Ghanaians who voted for you massively based on principle.
Well, Finance Minister Dr. Kasiela Toforsen insisted that the contract, which has been renegotiated from what was signed under the previous government, saves Ghana $9 million and gives value for money.
Mr. Speaker, because the process of competitive sourcing was truncated, I asked the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority to further renegotiate the program. Mr. Speaker, in renegotiating it, this is the outcome. Mr. Speaker, accordingly, we were able to reduce the cost of software and related items from $25.3 million to $20 million, saving $5.3 million on one line alone. Mr. Speaker, I did not end there. I also negotiated downwards hardware and related items from $15 million to $13.7 million. Mr. Speaker, overall, everything put together, we saved $9 million plus for renegotiating this agreement. Mr. Speaker, that is the reality. My position on taxes hasn't changed, Mr. Speaker, and it will never change.
Let's stay a bit longer in Parliament because the House has begun debate of the 2026 budget with heated arguments from both sides on who managed Ghana's economy better. There's more in the following report.
Member of Parliament for Bolgatanga Central and Chairman of the Finance Committee, Dr. Isaac Adongo commenced the first day of the 2026 budget debate by touting the achievements of the government, as he insists that the minority, after poorly managing the economy in the last 8 years, have no justification to question the 2026 budget.
In 2026, the inflation that you are seeing will begin to behave again. Mr. Speaker, interest rates are going to behave. Mr. Speaker, the exchange rate will behave because the people who are managing them are themselves behaving. And when you behave, the economic variables cannot misbehave. We were in a country where for 8 years, because of recklessness and lack of behavior on the part of those managing the economy, all that the variables knew was to misbehave. So inflation was misbehaving at 54%. Today, inflation is behaving.
But former Deputy Finance Minister Abena Osei Asari pushed back, questioning government's commitment to its own 24-hour economy policy and the fight against illegal mining, with 110 million cedis and 150 million allocations respectively.
Where is the 24-hour economy you promised us? You promised Ghanaians 1 job, 3 people, 3 shifts. You promised Ghanaians 1 job, 3 people, 3 shifts. Where is it? Clearly, Mr. Speaker, when you look at the funding in the budget, on one page it says 90 million, on another page it says 110 million. So this is what I'm speaking to. Even the numbers in the budget are not adding up.
Former spokesperson for former Vice President Dr. Baumia said the current economic success government is enjoying cannot be this government's 9-month wonder, but as a result of the sound foundation laid by the NPP government.
Mr. Speaker, I must say that it is refreshing that this government has stayed put with that arrangement by the previous government, and today we have single-digit inflation. I am sure Minister Amin and Abna will be happy that the seed they sowed and watered has germinated into this single-digit inflation that we are witnessing today.
But the majority had a strong pushback. Felix Kwache Ofosu is Minister in charge of Government Communications.
The noises that used to emerge over the poor quality of food or unavailability of food has subsided. So the minister is engaging in fiscal consolidation as a way to prevent the fiscal slippages that we have suffered from in the past. But he is spending in the right places.
The debate resumes on Wednesday, where leadership of the House may have their say on the 2026 budget financial allocations. James Aveji's report read to you.
Well, away from Parliament, Ghana is stepping up preparations against the Marburg virus following a warning from the Director General of the Ghana Health Service. The outbreak in Ethiopia has already claimed 3 lives. Today, Dr. Samuel Akoria Kaba and senior health directors toured key isolation and case management facilities. Stephen Mensah's report read to you.
Health workers across the country, particularly at key entry points, are now on high alert, monitoring the Marburg virus in real time. This follows reports of new cases of the Marburg virus in Ethiopia. Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Samuel Akoria Kaba, speaking after touring key facilities including the Ghana Infectious Disease Center and the Port Health Department at the Kotoka International Airport, says these inspections are part of tightening surveillance and testing how quickly systems can respond if the virus reaches Ghana's borders.
This time we want to be ahead of every little thing and not wait and firefight. So on behalf of the Minister of Health and the Ghana Health Service, we want to assure the Ghanaians to keep the routine and be calm. However, should practice our regular infection prevention and control exercise. Wash your hands, use your sanitizers, your face masks anywhere you find yourself.
At the Emergency Operations Center, one of the designated facilities for recording and tracking infectious diseases, Dr. Samuel Akoria Kaba says the country is prepared to identify the various reports of infectious diseases in the country.
We are monitoring events worldwide, 24 hours. And all diseases will be reported, will be captured, and we will be prepared. We've also activated our national case management team, the surveillance team, the case communication. Every aspect has been activated in case there is the need.
Dr. Kaba further emphasizes that health workers must be vigilant, strictly identifying individuals showing symptoms of the disease.
From today, we need to tighten our belts towards that. As I said, you guys have to read more about the disease so that you don't miss.
With Ethiopia's case count now at 6, including 3 fatalities, the focus is on how prepared Ghana's emergency systems are to prevent any cross-border spread. Reporting for Joy News, Stephen Mensah.
Away from that, President John Dramani Mahama has given his firm assurance that he will sign the anti-gay bill into law if it is passed by Parliament. Responding to concerns raised by the Christian Council during a courtesy call at the Jubilee House, President John Dramani Mahama reiterated that the position of his government is clear. Marriage is between a man and a woman. A person's gender is determined at birth, and family remains the foundation of the nation. He stressed that there are no questions or equivocations about what his governments believe. Presidential Affairs correspondent Max Wagwa has more in the following report.
The Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, widely known as the Anti-LGBTQ+ Bill, continues to generate national debate. The earlier version of the bill, passed in 2024, stalled after a series of legal challenges and a court injunction. At a meeting with President John Mahama, the Vice Chairman of the Christian Council, Enoch Thompson, urged the President to ensure the bill is finally passed into law. In response, President Mahama assured the Christian Council that he will sign the bill into law once Parliament passes it.
But if you want the position of my government, marriage is between man and woman. A person's gender is determined at birth. And then also that the family is the foundation of our nation. That is our position. And so there are no questions or equivocations about what we believe. I believe that we are completely aligned with the Christian Council in terms of your belief. And so we agree with the Speaker to relay the bill and let Parliament, debate it. And if there are any amendments or whatever that have to be done. If the Parliament of the people of Ghana endorse the bill and vote on it and pass it, and it comes to me as president, I will sign it.
The engagement between the Christian Council and President Mahama covered several national issues. On the National Cathedral project, Reverend Enoch Thompson appealed to the President to reaffirm his commitment to the project, ensure its continuation and completion, and guarantee transparency in its financial administration. President Mahama stated that as a Christian, he supports the vision of building a national place of worship. However, he stressed that a forensic audit of the cathedral project must be completed before any decisions on the way forward.
The National Cathedral Board of Trustees ordered an audit into the accounts of the National Cathedral. The audit was published, and there were some issues that bubbled out of the audit. But there are two kinds of audit. There's a normal audit that you yourself choose your auditor and ask him to come and audit you. And then he audits and presents the report to you. There's that kind of auditor. Then there's the auditor who is asked to come and do a forensic audit. And so we got a copy of the audit that had been commissioned by the Board of Trustees. And as president, I directed that a forensic audit be conducted. We want to know what happened. Before we go forward, we must know what happened.
You're still watching Joy News Prime. We'll be back after this bulletin.
Welcome back. Now, the city of Leipzig in Germany carries the heavy memory of one of the most extensive surveillance systems in modern history. Inside the former headquarters of the Stasi, those lessons are resurfacing not as distant history, but as warnings for a world increasingly shaped by artificial intelligence, facial recognition, and digital data tracking. My colleague Jacqueline Ansoma Yebua reports.
In Leipzig, inside the former headquarters of the Stasi, one of the world's most feared secret police systems, discussions focused on a global concern: how democracies protect personal freedoms in a digital age. It's a conversation with lessons not just for Germany, but for Ghana, where data systems and surveillance technologies are rapidly expanding.
This building once housed the Ministry of State Security, the Stasi, the secret police of East Germany. At its height, it controlled a vast network of informants, monitored private conversations, intercepted letters, and documented the lives of millions of citizens in painful detail. Inside these walls, friendship had no guarantees, and privacy was a luxury the state did not permit. But in a world where tech giants collect our digital footprints and government debates the limits of security versus privacy, parallels are difficult to ignore. In conversations with Vice Chairman of the Leipzig Citizens Committee and Director of the Museum Round Corner, Tobias Oletier, one message was clear: the dangers of state surveillance did not disappear with the fall of the Berlin Wall. Instead, they have evolved.
We also have to look at the goals. Which were the goals of the East German government? They wanted to spy on us, they wanted to keep us under control. It was quite easy. Nowadays, there are many reasons, and some of them are reasonable. Others are not. So in the end, it's a matter of data.
When asked whether today's technologies resemble early signs of authoritarian rule, the director described them as an incredible danger. He warned that societies must decide for themselves how much risk they are willing to tolerate and to what extent we make ourselves dependent on technologies that can track, predict, and influence human behavior.
Die Sicherheit und die Freiheit. The technology you can probably cage in laws. The other two issues will always depend on each other, and each society has to find its balance. How much insecurity, it's going to allow for more in freedom.
On the question of how young democracies like Ghana should balance security, technology, and individual freedom, his response was blunt.
It's an incredible danger that we're exposed to, or exposing ourselves. The society has to set what they're willing to cope with. Often a matter of the personal attitude. How do I deal with AI? To which extent do I expose myself and make myself dependent on these technologies? But then, of course, when we look at how it seems to work nowadays in countries like China and Great Britain as well, that the whole country is cluttered with cameras, and they are able to cross-check with databases of pictures of all citizens. This is where I think this is too much. No, that shouldn't be.
The tools of control may have changed, but the responsibility to guard our freedom remains the same. And for countries building digital futures, the question remains, where do we draw the line? Reporting for Joy News from Leipzig, I'm Jacqueline Ansama Yaboa.
Away from that, the family of the late former First Lady Nana Konadu-Agyeman-Rawlings has officially announced that her funeral rites will be held on Friday, November 28, 2025 at the Independence Square. Nana Konadu-Agyeman-Rawlings passed away on October 23, 2025 at the age of 76 at the Ridge Hospital in Accra after a short illness. Addressing a press conference in Accra, Ohiniba Abaye expressed the family's deep appreciation for the overwhelming support and sympathy shown her since passing. Fatau Bayaga reports.
We wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all Ghanaians and indeed the general public for the outpouring of sympathy since the loss of Her Excellency Nana Konadu-Agyeman-Rawlings. I'm here on behalf of the family to inform you of the arrangements that have been prepared for the funeral, burial and funeral of Nana, slated for Friday, November 28th, 2025. The funeral activities will commence at 6 a.m. with the arrival of the cortege at the Independence Square, Accra. Independence Square, Accra.
Ohiniba Abaye advised mourners to wear strictly black attire for the ceremony and reiterated that no additional funeral rites will be held elsewhere after the burial service.
The official attire that the family recommend will be black, and there will be no official cloth.
Well, it's time for showbiz, and it's all ladies' affair. We've kicked Carlos Coloni out of the studio, the Brazilian bugger. It's time now for showbiz. Irene, welcome.
Thank you. You're looking good. You have a matching heels with your dress.
It's giving rich auntie
yeah. All right, so
tell me what's happening.
Okay, so I'm here to update you on happenings in the entertainment world, and we are going straight to Guru's camp because a lot of people think he had it easy during, his days at University of Ghana. Well, the rapper is saying that his days at University of Ghana were filled with discomfort, uneasiness, awkwardness, because he couldn't believe that he was sitting in the same classroom with Gen Zs. And that made him wear nose masks almost every day to school.
It's still hanging, and I just wanted to execute it. So with the idea of going back to the uni, I felt it was the best time because of the COVID. Nothing was happening in Ghana. I was just back from the US. I was like, before everything will level up, it will take time. So let me use that time in going back to the school, finish my degree. And that was difficult. The reason is you're just going to be in a classroom with the 18s, people that when you... Yes. So when I first entered, I was just wearing those masks, wearing hoodie. I was too shy. For the first time in your life, entering classroom, for about 15 years with your age and the
rapping.
It was, I think, level 200 to 300.
When
I
it got to
started
200,
feeling
started
free.
changing.
I started coming out of my shells. Like, no, I'm not doing this.
All right, so we heard from Guru. That was an awkward moment for him. Yeah, but Black Sheriff has opened up. You know, he has a song which says that he doesn't open up to nobody, but finally he has opened up to us because he's telling us the inspiration behind his Iron Boy album. According to him, moments of, brokenness, vulnerability, public scrutiny led him to release this album, which has 15-track record.
Even if it's a character, it's still me, Yeah, I would say it's a combination of eras, like emotional journey, spiritual journey, physical journey that came together to make Iron Boy. You see, iron is made up of stuff. Do you understand how tough it is and everything? And I am the Iron Boy as well. Yeah, and it's a homage to Nana Machidede. Sometimes it's even the words we tell ourselves, how harsh we are on ourselves because we try to meet the standards that society has made. Sometimes it's not even the society, but how we react to society. Do you understand me? By keeping things calm, I think we can have not even all, but some things under control if we take things calm.
Black Sheriff says Iron Boy is completely different from his debut album, The Villain I Never Was, both in message and sound. He also revealed that one of the toughest songs to record on the project was Change, a track that took multiple sessions to complete.
Changes. Vocally, I took 2 days to lay the vocals for that song. Like normally I do it in a session. Maybe a session is like an 8 hours or 7 hours. But Changes, like frequent, present for 2 days, taking that vocals, losing voice, chewing ginger, lemon, everything to get the vocals right and everything, yeah.
To top it all off, fans can look forward to the return of Zama Disco this December. He's back with his signature concert celebrating his music and supporters.
I love you so much. So show me say what Iron Boy. Now Iron Boy. There's so much in Iron Boy that I believe with time. So when you're revelation, we already are. With time, we'll be home revelation. Just keep listening to Iron Boy and just keep an eye on us. Zama Disco is coming. Yes, sir. Keep an eye on us. The where and the date is also coming. I love you and I appreciate your support.
From The Villain I Never Was to Iron Boy, Black Sheriff's evolution continues. Proof that even through pressure and pain, strength is forged.
All right, so we have it right there from Black Sheriff, but I'm taking you straight to Regal Film Festival and Awards, where the organizers of the Regal Film Festival and Awards have officially launched the nominees for the 2025 edition of the festival following an extensive screening process of 121 film entries received from 21 countries across Africa and beyond. This year's submissions showcase a rich diversity of storytelling, culture, and creativity, reflecting the vibrant pulse of Africa's growing film industry and its global connections. After weeks of rigorous evaluation by the Academy of Screeners, the list was narrowed down to 64 outstanding films, representing categories such as feature films, short films, documentaries, animations, and African language films. Speaking at the nomination announcement event held in Accra, the festival director commended the filmmakers for exceptional works and expressed appreciation for the international participation that continues to position the Regal Film Festival as a truly continental platform for creative excellence. The nominated films will compete in various awards categories, culminating in the awards night scheduled for December 13, 2025 in Accra, Ghana. Yeah, so we are looking forward to that. And that's the third story, but I have a final story coming up. I mean, I was done with my news coming to present, and then I saw a story online trending. So 3 individuals have allegedly been arrested in Algeria for trying to cross to Spain. These guys
I saw that
sheep.
story.
Yeah, so this is it.
You know, look at the bright side. It's all about being daring, is it not?
Look at the ears, and look at that of the real sheep. This one, I think the sheep.
Derek agrees with me.
The one on the left, I'm sure the one on the left brought the idea. And the second one was like, we don't have passports. And then the third one is like, no, we can just go as sheep. They've been arrested. I think there is more to the story. We have to get what they did. Were they doing meh? I mean, when the police came in and all of that. But that is all I have for you.
About it. It shows the desire for young people in the country. We need to fix that. We need to fix the fundamentals to make the economy vibrant enough for young people to want to stay in the country. But that's how we wrap up show. Thank you so much, Irene.
Thank you
for being here with us. And that's how we wrap up Joy News Prime. For more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Faustina Safo. I appreciate your company. Good evening.